This is the most professional, the best looking, and the most versatile laptop I've ever had. This is the Intel NUC M15, a laptop from the company itself, packing an 11th Gen Tiger Lake i7 G series with 4 cores and 8 threads, 16GB of solid DDR4 memory, and a 1TB NVMe SSD. Sure, it might not be the fastest laptop in existence or the most gaming oriented, but this is the actual point of why I bought it. Some may know that I tinkered with the idea of an eGPU, although it was very dated and used proprietary connectors in order to do so, but I loved the concept of it, so I started to look for a much newer solution. Unfortunately, eGPU enclosures are very hard to find and expensive where I live, so when I saw an Omen accelerator for a reasonable price, I had to have it. With a 500 watt power supply, a 2.5-inch SATA port for an SSD or a hard drive, it is one of the most practical boxes out there. I was looking for a silent as possible approach, so a front fan was replaced with a model from Be Quiet. As much as I loved ThinkPads of the older generations, the more recent ones are jolly expensive and structurally are definitely not the same. An HP Envy or a Spectre would have been a fantastic option, but comparing the prices, this NUC was hands down the better deal. As Linus Tech Tips said, this is the MacBook that Intel made. For when I travel or work outside home, it's easy to carry around, the battery lasts a day easily and the temperatures are decent. But here is why the project is called Thunderbolt. Featuring two Thunderbolt 4 ports, it is easy to plug any USB-C dock. However, the most important thing for me is the external graphics that you can attach to it. Just plug the GPU in the accelerator, connect it to the laptop, and you have about 75% of the desktop experience in a smaller footprint. The stock Intel Iris Xe graphics are comparable to an Nvidia GTX 1050, so in a pinch you could game on integrated graphics, which we know wasn't a viable option a few years back. You won't find gaming performance graphs here. Jarrod's Tech has a detailed view on the little but powerful i7-1165G7. Thanks to the gorgeous 1080p display, editing photos, videos, working with 3D software is an absolute pleasure. The NUC also has Windows Hello facial recognition and Alexa built-in for the casual dad joke she throws at you. Tell me a joke.
What made Van Gogh such a good friend? He was willing to lend an ear.
The Nvidia RTX 2060 Super may not be the behemoth in a world where everyone wants the latest and greatest GPU, but coupled with the laptop specs and the 1080p IPS LG ultra-wide monitor that I'm running, the bottleneck is close to non-existent. Just like the dock, the graphics card has got the silent treatment, getting two 140mm Noctua fans for extreme quiet operation, no matter the temperatures. To avoid some of the coil whine, I have set the power limit to 77% and an 80-degree temperature limit for my own sanity during hot summer days. Basically, any game you throw at it, at these specs, gets over 60 FPS in games, with noise levels being more than acceptable. Economically speaking, it still isn't the best way to spend over $1,000 for a system like this, but I don't need 24/7 of the horsepower of a graphics card. I can cut off the power anytime and enjoy a quiet, smooth experience of a business laptop. But when things get serious, with the help of a cable, it becomes a productivity gaming beast. The upgrade path for the laptop is limited, with the only options to replace being the SSD and the Wi-Fi card, which doesn't make sense as of right now, since it's the top of the line. What I consider I've done here is take a practical business laptop you can live happily with it every day and turn it into a powerhouse in a pinch. It is absolutely brilliant.